Hello, hello.
What's up, Coop? How you doing, man?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastically. I just heard a TikTok of someone saying that they think that they created like the song of the summer, and it was something along the lines of like her asking for what she wanted, and now it's stuck in my head, and I can't get it out, and I'm a little bit terrified of what the next like 8 hours are going to be for me. But other than that, solid, man.
You
How
got
you
to
doing?
post this song in chat so we can all experience this earworm.
That earworm needs to be unleashed on this server. To be honest with you.
Excellent.
It's so catchy.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. What's up, Seabruce? How you doing?
Doing good. No earworms. Trying to keep it that way. And it's warm weather around New York City. So what's not to love?
It's great. I'm in Myrtle Beach, and it's one of those times where you kind of wish it was cold and crappy back home when you're like on vacation in a nice place. But glad to hear y'all are enjoying some nice weather and playing some rounds of golf. But since I am AFK, I'll let you guys take over this evening.
Do it. Great. It's like substitute teacher. Chris and I can just raise all sorts of hell until the teacher gets back. This is fantastic. So hello everybody. Thanks for joining tonight. Got a couple things on the agenda. I think Chris, you're up first. You're going to be talking about signature event series Wave 2.
Yeah, so just a reminder for everybody, we do have a couple events or 3 events with spots remaining, just a couple at each. So for Hollywood, New Jersey, Kingsley in Michigan, and Philly Cricket in Philadelphia. There are spots remaining. So if you want, or if you're interested in any of those events, definitely get on it. And one other announcement for signature events. We do have a couple last minute spots that have opened up at our Meadow Club event next week in SF. So that's just north of SF. Awesome course. Alistair McKenzie course, actually his first design in the U.S. It was renovated by our own Mike DeVries recently, and going to be amazing an event. So that was just in the last couple of days. So definitely check that out if you are interested in joining. So that is it on the signature event series. Again, we got a few days throughout the year. You can check the links and announcements to see all the details there. I also, Mr. Senior, I hear a kid call or screaming in the background. So I'm going to hit the pause button. You take over for a minute.
Pass the baton over to me. This is great. So if you hear a dog barking, then I'll hop off and we'll give it to Flying Fish, and Flying Fish can take it from there. So next up, benefits updates. All 5 Iron gift cards are being refreshed for the new year. So if you've already used yours from 2023, you'll have a new one that you'll be able to use. So more coming on how to redeem that, but just rest assured that if you live in a market or travel to a market or potentially would travel to a market that has a 5 iron, you'll be able to get another gift card this year. Also, just putting in a plug, don't forget to claim your free Arco sensors if you haven't. You get a free trial for the new season if you haven't done that already. I think Cooper got one too, recently just got my Link Pro. Haven't used it yet, but very excited to. Game changer. Like it's so clear to me what I need to work on and where the strokes gain gaps are and where I'm trying to get to my goals. So if you haven't done that yet, you can do that in the clubhouse. And obviously visit the clubhouse. There's 70 brands now in there that you all have access to some kind of a benefit, some kind of a discount, some kind of a cashback reward. All those things are there for you being members. Next up, Spay status updates and events. Today, we're talking about a new initiative that I think Bez's uncle came up with, who will also be attending this event if you want to meet Bez's uncle. But if you are either a member of a club or you have a home course that you play a lot, you really care about, and you're going to be joining us either one of the events or you're just going to be visiting Spay, what we're going to do in the clubhouse, we're going to attempt to do is put up somehow flags from the home courses from around the world of our members who are also at SPAY. So, for example, I'll go to my club, grab a flag, bring it the next time at SPAY, and then we'll figure out the rest there. So, I think it would be really cool just to see the global representation of this community and the SPAY community specifically there. When you go in, you know that this is a place where everyone's welcome and it's a really great time for the entire globe. So do that. If you have any questions, hit us up in the chat. But it should be pretty simple. Grab a flag. I guess don't steal one, but get a flag under circumstances that are ethical, and then bring that with you. Put it in your travel bag and drop it off at SPAY when you're there. Also, May 24th spring meeting will also be the reveal of the inaugural member inscriptions at the clubhouse. So if you're going to the spring meeting, then any inaugural members, those inscriptions will be posted there and sort of revealed to the people who are there. If you aren't going to be there and you want to see it, just ask someone who's going. They'll snag a pic for you so you can see it. I know I have a brick at the new Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and every time I go there, I look at it. So that's going to be very cool to see at SPAY as well. And then lastly, the summer solstice event, which I will be attending. So if you want to play with me, come. If you want to avoid me, go to one of the different events. But that's going to be the first play of the reversible route with a 7-hole loop, which is very, very exciting. So it's like, in my mind, it's like almost a prototype of the fully formed North Star vision of that reversible 18. The summer solstice event in June will be the first time that people will be able to play a reversible route with a 7-hole loop, which personally, just speaking just my own self, that 7-hole loop is something that I would probably want to play all the time anyway. So I like shorter rounds and interesting ways to get around the golf course. So if you're thinking about coming to an event, the summer solstice will be the first one you see that. And if you're going to be there, it's going to be a very exciting time. Chris, baby still crying, baby cool.
Think we're under control at
Great.
the C. Bruce household, at least for the moment. But thanks for covering.
Of course.
Yeah, sounds like we were just talking some SPAY Bay. You talk about the home club flags as well.
Yeah, just everyone go to a course, steal a flag, and bring it was the main thing that we talked about when you were gone.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen this or something similar done at a few different clubs, and I think it ends up being very cool. And for us, since we have, members that are all over the world, I think this could be a ton of fun, having all the hidden flags hanging in the clubhouse from all over the world. Will be pretty special.
Sure. Love it. Can't wait to see where everyone is from. Anything else you think that I missed about SPAY? But we covered everything on the agenda, but any other things that you want to bring up before we move on to talk about Link Leagues?
No, the events are the main thing. If you're following along on, either Instagram or Twitter, you've seen some of the developments as the weather gets a little warmer, and some of the areas we're doing work are starting to grow in, grass coming in, and you're kind of seeing some of the work that was done over the winter come to life, which is pretty fun. So if you aren't following along, definitely do that. But yeah, cool to see that kind of growing in and getting ready as we get into the events coming up later this year.
For sure. June can't get here fast. As I get older, I don't want to wish away time. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely wishing away time on June. So for that summer solstice event. Can't wait. Great. Well, let's do some Links League stuff. I was thinking about, what to talk about tonight, and I saw a tweet about Byron Nelson's top 10 streak, which, as the tweet says, is unreal. It's almost hard to fathom. Now, obviously, all of these streaks exist in a very different era of golf, but Byron Nelson had 65 top 10s, a streak ranging from 1942 to 1946. So I was curious to see in Links Leagues if there were any really interesting streaks. There aren't really, but I have some things to share. So out of the 4 leagues that we've run, so I'm just going to include the first 3 because those are the ones that are complete, not the one that's ongoing now because things change all the time. Like, I think I'm currently T5, but based on projections, I probably won't finish in the top 20. And I've yet to finish in the top 20, but there are 16 people who have completed all 3 of the rounds that have closed. Of those 16 people, the 3 people with the highest average of score, of finish, are Cooper with an average finish of 10, Rex with an average finish of 13, and CB12 with an average finish of 14. And so I thought that was cool. I don't know if that's 52 street cool, but that's pretty sweet.
Sounds suspicious with Cooper up there at the top. I don't know.
You said it, I didn't.
That's questionable for sure. I just had a really good winter league. That's it. There's nothing more to it. I'm playing so bad.
Right, you recently? Did. You're also the only person with 3 top 20s. But Rex has 2 top 20s and CB12. That's not true. CB12 also has 3 top 20s. Tex has 1 top 10. P3 Golfer has 2 top 20s, looking great. Seabruce has a top 10 and 2 top 20s. And then a couple other people with top 20s. Gundo National has 2. Z78 has 2 top 10s. Lyle has a top 10. Swenu has 2 top 20s. Nike Range 54 has a top 20, and then Freak has 1 top 10, but that top 10 was a win, and everything else was sub 20, which I thought was really interesting, and kind of part of the way that Links Leagues works is, it's really hard to sustain success. And then, unfortunately, including myself, there are 4 people who completed 3 leagues and have yet to top 20. That's me, that's ZT Dub Show, Real, and RN McKay. So, got a lot of work to do. I don't think I'm going to do it this time, but I'm absolutely going to track the 3 others, and hopefully they score top 20 now. And then I'll run this again once we have 4 leagues and see who sort of distances themselves. So I thought that was interesting, especially in the context of the Byron Nelson tweet. Also, moving on to sort of prize-wise, just a reminder that there's really 2 ways to win when it comes to Links Leagues. You get points just for entering in scores. So every score that you post, you get 100 points. All of those points have been updated as of this afternoon. So any spring 2024 league round that you have posted, I have deposited 100 points for each round, up to 8, into your Clubhouse account, and those are redeemable immediately. If you don't see it or you are confused by what you see, please just open up a intercom chat and I will come running to help. The other way, obviously, is the top prizes. Those are in order of 3rd place is going to get any head cover that we currently have in the store. Any one that you want, you're going to get. 2nd, we'll get a Theragun Elite or a Theragun Mini. If you've never used a Theragun, that should be incentive enough to try to perform well in Links Leagues because they're fantastic. And then 1st place will get $250 per shot credit and very special Genesis Mallet head cover. They're sold out. It's limited edition. Never will be produced again. 1st place gets one of those. So again, just by posting your scores, you get 100 points. And if you fall into 1st place, 2nd place, or 3rd place, then you'll get one of those prizes. Next up then, Wheel of Names. I'm going to try this here to make sure that I can share my screen. Chris, Coop, can you see it?
I can see it.
All right, so every single person who posted a week 2 round is in this Wheel of Names. I'm going to shuffle it a couple of times just to show how fair it is. And then I'm going to click a button and it's going to select a winner. And that winner is Lift Big Swing Hard, which is, I've never seen that username and it might be one of my favorites in all of Clubhouse.
I think Lift Big Swing Hard won last week. Just for fun, can we spin it again? And yes, we will reward Lift Big Swing Hard, but let's also spin it again.
Let's
get 2 out here.
It is coming down right now, and it's Joe Dogs 21 is your week 2 participation winner. So the way you get your name added is you post your scores, and if you post a score, you're entered into the Wheel of Names, and we randomly select a winner for points. Great. And then also, last thing I'll say is high score this week. We did have a higher score that was posted, and as was discussed in chat, there was an error with the slope and rating that was caught by our model. So that one isn't eligible. I'm going to follow up with the person to get what the real score was. I do not think that it was on purpose. It clearly looks like just someone entered in slope and rating incorrectly. But that artificially inflated the points. So the actual highest score that we verified is R.W. Dennis, who had a round of 17 points. And congrats, I see it down there in the audience, R.W. Dennis. I looked at like your scores, and it's this is like peaking at the right time. So I can't wait to see how you finish in this league season. Congrats. Cool. All right. Well, that's all I got. Cooper, if you want, I mean, I can speak to the next point if you want to, if you're in a position to.
Go for it.
All right, cool. So last thing I'll say is DAO calls next week after the community call. So been a while since we've done one of these, but we'll have this community call, which will be sort of the high level updates, celebration of Links Leagues winners, high level updates on things that are happening in the project. DAO call then is, for the super committed folks who want to dig in and understand sort of the specific sort of projects that are upcoming, what stuff we're working on. Two of those examples would be we're doing a memorabilia proposal that will be upcoming for vote. Tungsten has been working on that, and it will be related to some memorabilia that will be, I don't know if acquiring is the right word, but sort of collecting at the clubhouse and making that available for people to see. And then also looking for support for Courseversary events. I assume Courseversary is the anniversary of purchasing Spade Bay. And I'm sure that there's some great programming coming up, and we'll be looking for some people who can help out to put that on. Sure, there'll be other agenda items as well, but those are the two that have been added so far. If there's things that you want to discuss, reach out in DAO General. Obviously, show up next week after the community call, and we'll roll our sleeves up and work together.
Yeah, 1 year anniversary of Spade Bay acquisition is mid-May, so coming up. Kind of crazy, it's been a year.
Doesn't make sense. Time is a circle or a line. I guess a line is a shorter distance between 2 points. So. Yeah. Well, I think that's all we got, folks. Chris, anything else you want to add?
No, maybe I'll just add because I had to duck out earlier. I always want to kind of hit any updates on the U.S. course front. Nothing made to share this week, and I've said this a couple times now, but we have continued actually with both the Southeast and Midwest course this week with both owners, kind of iterating through that, and also specifically about the point of being able to share the names of the courses with the community. So we know that's important. So we're, takes more time than we like. We're inching towards it though. So, developments on both fronts. And I'll also say we actually had 2 new course prospects come in this week, which are somewhat intriguing. So it's always to say if, for anyone who's out there and sees, potential leads, courses that might be interesting, we're always looking for them. We're pretty keyed in on these 2 that we obviously voted on earlier this year, but it's always good to have more opportunities coming across our proverbial desk. So, hit the recommend course channel or, throw it in the chats if there are any intriguing ideas out there, always.
Love it. Very cool. Anybody in the audience got any questions? You can either pop them in the chat, you can raise your hand, come up on stage. Cool. Well, I think that does it for Community Thursday. Thanks everybody for letting Chris and I be your substitute teachers today. Cooper, hope you're having a blast down in Myrtle. And we will see y'all in the chats, as Tungsten says.
See y'all. Happy Thursday.
See ya.
Bye.